What's up, everybody? Psych Out back again, this time with a third Master Tournament victory of the Valkyrie tournament. And there you can see our chest. Let's go ahead and open it up as usual and see what we got. Hopefully we got a rare that we could use here. Oh, Infernos. It's awesome. Now I'm only 14 away. Another Dark Angel. Not happy about continually getting Dark Angels as my rare, but okay. Okay, that's not so bad. Reaper's Bomb, Spike Statue. Let's hope this last rare card is something like Dryads or Executioners. Nope, more Pirates. Okay. All right, so another that's that tournament. So let's go see. Let's see where I'm at in the standings. Lots of people in AP have been winning. So let's see. Surge, Your Lord, has got himself all the way up to third. Okay, I'm in 12th. Man, it'd take a little bit. Have to win another couple of grand tournaments to get into the top 10 for right now. Obviously, another master would get me up there with Emerneto, but it ain't gonna be easy. But it's been a pretty good tournament for AP. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go and replay our games. I'm pretty sure I won 10 straight on this one, but now any continues. Yeah. So the first match is against Grinspoon, who we've seen before. He's playing a Reaper deck. That's what he had been playing before, and he's playing not a sort of standard one. I mean, it looks pretty standard in a lot of ways, but it does include the one Warrior, which he played here. So, you know, I'm playing with the deck I've shown before. This is a Surge's deck. It's the deck with the two Infernos. And I don't know if this is lucky or unlucky, but I've got the Angel stayed alive there, and I decide to go ahead and pull her back to join her up with the Hollow Knight, knowing that they can take out that little set there. And then quick with the Inferno to deny the protection on those skeletons and the and then here we've got to be quick with a freeze, yep, to stop the vampire. He does go with his freeze, and what did I do? Okay, vampire didn't live long enough, so that's why he did that head nod thing, because his vampire didn't live long enough. Here, easy to got to go Inferno quick. You can't let those Reapers hang around and get protected. That was a pretty good move to kill my kill the Angel there, but at this point it's pretty tough for the Reaper deck to win. He's in a pretty bad spot here. Good move there, but unfortunately the stack is just too strong, and that's it. So tough match against a tough opponent for match number 1. Match number 2 was against this Clanmate Troll. We're seeing a lot of these decks, a lot of Angel, Spike Statue. Surprisingly, this one doesn't have freeze. Lots of Angel, Spike Statue, freeze decks in this tournament. We see that's a pretty common combination. You know, we have to give Castle Crust, I think, the developers a lot of credit. In the last rebalancing, they increased the strength of the Jester, and this was a while ago. They increased the strength of the Jester, and they increased the strength of Spike Statue, and I think that ended up being a really good move, because we see that Jester and Spike Statue are used in a lot of decks, and I think that the decks that have been played most recently are some of the most interesting decks. So here I have to go. I can't allow that to keep going that way, so I've got to get rid of that Angel. Now, of course, we know he's going to play that in the bottom lane, but there's really not a lot I can do, so I decide just to forget about it and go the other direction for now. Okay, so he gangs up on everything there, which seems okay, except that I can kill it all. And, okay, he moves it to a different lane, but that's okay. We can still kill everything. And we're going to go wind, push back to avoid the vampire. So this is kind of a tricky deck. He's going for these kinds of combinations with the vampire and the angel. I go ahead and get out my vampire and angel combination. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with his yet, but I'm planning on figuring out. So there I went for the freeze, which may not have been the best idea. He shoved everything into this lane, which again, I don't know if that was best or not, but ultimately with the Inferno, I was able to get through there. And it's kind of weird, I think, to use the Black Witch there. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Probably should not have played my, what is that guy, Executioner there so quickly, because I probably could have just played the Black Witch in the lane altogether and not had to sacrifice an Executioner for the whole thing. But so let's see here. Okay, so again, he's got that angel, that angel stack going on there. I push back, just thinking, okay, we'll have to deal with that later. Right now, I want to deal with the dragon. And eventually here I'm going to try to get my own angel stack going. He tries to take this on, which was a real big mistake because I had the freeze ready, and then I went for the Inferno just to get rid of all those angels and everything he had going on there. And now I'm playing a second dragon just because I really want to take control of the board. And I think I end up even playing. Okay, so I played the Hollow Knight up there. Yeah. So it's been a close game so far. I'm going to go ahead and play another. Yeah, so there we have to sack this top lane. Oh, and that worked out fine because he standard barred into that lane. So anyway, and that was kind of it there at this point. There's not really a lot he can do. Could have tried the Black Witch in the middle lane, but that wasn't going to do any good. So pretty good game against another tough opponent. It looked easy in terms of the total number of health points at the end, but it was not an easy win. Those Angel Spike Statue, Angel Vampire, Angel Hollow Knight combos, and you'll see that this deck that I'm playing features that, but yeah, that's not the main point of this deck, whereas that is the main point of the deck that Troll was playing there. So this is an opponent I didn't know. I don't think it's fairly highly rated. We see this a lot with low-rated players. They play Fortify, and then they play some other combination of cards that's sort of like a mixed deck that includes Fortify. At the top level, almost nobody does that. At the top level, if somebody plays Fortify, they're definitely playing an overtime deck. And that's just not the case here. But even then, the thing is, when you're playing these players that you don't know, you've never heard of, you can get really surprised by decks that they play. I mean, here's an example, though, of really bad play. There's just nothing for that Skeleton Swarm to do with the Spike Statue in the way, and this opponent clearly didn't know that. So, and there's the combo I'm talking about with the Angel and the Hollow Knight, and you'll see my opponent has no Inferno. Has really no way, and this is a big mistake right there. I mean, you have to drop the Meteor on the Angel, not on the Hollow Knight, and this one's a little better placed and actually kills the Angel, but by now, it's just there's just a lot of problems. So that worked out okay because he killed the Shaman, but at this point, I mean, we're just crushing him in all three lanes, and there's nothing we can really do. Yeah, and that was it. So that was round 2 or 3, was it? Yeah, round 3. Round 4 against another opponent I didn't know. Not too high of a trophy count, but the deck that he put together isn't completely crazy. I'll say that the use of the Metamorph in a deck that runs skeletons seems a little nuts to me, but otherwise, I mean, there's some decent cards in this deck. So we're going to go with the Jester just because it's the only thing we can play. And I decided to play the Angel in another lane. There's a lot of potential here. One option is to get the, just like this, get the Vampire Angel combination going. So that's what I went for here. And here I was thinking, well, maybe he's playing a Reaper deck because he's played some kind of Reaper deck with Metamorph. Because he's metamorphed my metamorph my Jester. So I just go ahead and just say, I'm going to get rid of the whole middle lane and just figure out what the heck's going on after that. And so, and here I decided to go ahead and Inferno the bottom lane because I want to keep this combination with my Angel and Vampire going. And eventually he does get rid of it, but it costs him a lot because then that demon just got destroyed by my Vampire, giving my Vampire more health. Here I've created a little stack to take on this 8 pirate. Now my opponent froze that lane as well, which kind of stinks. And here I go ahead and put the spike statue back at the castle because my plan is to back that 8 pirate up, and he has another freeze. And so now I'm going to try to use my shaman against it, but unfortunately he stops that. So now I get my freeze. And yeah, what's going on here is that my opponent seems to have forgotten that in the top lane, my Druid was just doing work on his castle. So that ended up not being too difficult of a win because he wasn't paying attention to the top lane. 1, 2, 3. So that was round 4. Round 5. This opponent I've played before and has beaten me before in this tournament. We see a lot of decks like this. These double freeze power decks are pretty common. Yeah, this opponent always throws stickers at me because, I don't know, they think that that makes them cool. Yeah, well, in this case I just said, well, I'm just going to play against you and let that be what it is. Yeah, so this opponent I remembered, though, as being a heavy freeze opponent. So here... So when you're playing against freeze opponents, you have to do a couple of things. 1, you have to use your wins. 2, you have to not play all your cards out too quickly, because if you do, they'll freeze and grab everything. So here, pretty obvious situation, just go ahead and sacrifice the whole lane. And now here I was pretty sure you had the shaman in the middle lane, so I went ahead and played mine in the bottom. And I'm not sure why he played the spike statue there. I think he must have thought my shaman was in that lane, but which is exactly why I played it in the bottom lane. So there's another spike statue. Here's a good place for my vampire because it can take out the spike statue, but it also takes out the oh yeah, here we go. Quick with the inferno. This is why we play the double inferno deck. Keep my opponent back at the castle. And I'm going to lose that Hollow Knight in the top lane, but I'm not too worried about that. Here we go again, another Inferno, saving the Executioner, which is doing more damage. Drew another Vampire, so we've got the Vampire Angel combo going up in the top lane. It's going to get pushed back, which is a little unfortunate because that means the Mage is going to do some damage. And but anyway, in the meantime, we're kind of in control of things. My opponent's trying to slow me down with the freeze, but we've done a lot of damage to the castle. And I'm sitting on 2 wins and 2 dragons. So I'm sitting here going, okay, it's going to be really hard for my opponent to win because I can slow the game down a bunch if I want. And he's sitting on 2 dragons as well, but I mean, that's not really going to help him. He needs to do a ton of damage to my castle and quickly, and right now he can't do it. So here we freeze. To take out the dragon, and you know, at this point I'm just basically thinking, okay, whatever you do, you don't have to kill your opponent. You just need to not let him get to your castle for the time being, and it didn't really matter because we got there anyway. So okay, ended up getting a flawless win against an opponent who's given me problems before, but handled him pretty well there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was round 5. So round 6, another opponent I didn't know, but is playing, you know, one of these decks we're seeing a lot of with the Angel. It features Angel and several other cards that might combo well with it. That's the other thing, the buff to the Angel that the developers put in when they made Angel a range farther away was really cool because it allowed these Angel decks to avoid arrows, and that means they're more difficult to deal with. So here I'm thinking it's a Reaper deck, and I'm pretty worried because I've got my Jester out there, and I can't get him back to those skeletons. Fortunately for me, it ended up not being a Reaper deck, so I ended up taking out everything there, and then I'm going to take out the middle lane, and things get really hairy here. I think At some point, I actually play a card in the wrong lane. Yeah, I think it's right here. I wanted to play the Inferno. I was going to play the yeah, right there. I played the Inferno in the bottom lane when I meant to play it in the middle lane. First, I was going to play the Black Witch, and then I thought, no, I got the Inferno. That's a better choice, and so I went for the Inferno there. And now it's like, holy crap, I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't have much health. My opponent's playing Boneyard. A Boneyard could come at any time. There's a mage, it's just area damage. I mean, here comes a shaman in the bottom lane. I've got to push that back. I wish I could save the stuff in the middle lane, but there's no chance. My opponent played horribly there with a Reaper for no reason. Not sure what was up with that. Here, I just put down, okay, so I play the Druid there. My opponent goes for protection on the shaman. That's not going to help a whole lot. So I'm going to go with the Vampire Angel combo and hope that it can do some damage here. Yep, there we go. And that's going to keep my vampire alive, which is nice. And that's going to help because that'll keep them together. And here we go, quick with the Inferno, keeping the combination alive. My opponent's going for a pretty strong combination there in the middle lane, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And Jester to clean up the mess. Freeze in the top lane. Gotta play the freeze. Too slow. I should have played that a lot faster. But Hollow Knight in there with the Vampire, in there with the Angel. I pull everything back because I'm not that high on health, so I went ahead and used the Dragon, even though I didn't necessarily have to. I felt like with an Inferno in my hand, I wasn't too worried about anything he could do, like with a Black Witch or something like that. So. And there you can see that combination of the Angel and the Vampire gets us the win. So, you know, that's the downside of playing a deck without Inferno. Like he's playing there, you just can't get to that Angel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is round 7 here. I couldn't remember this opponent, but I did remember, I know the clan, and I know it's a good clan, so I figured I have a pretty good opponent here. And for most people, because there have been so many Reaper decks in the tournament, I've just been assuming Reaper. And so I thought, okay, this is going to be a Reaper deck. We've got the Jester, we've got the Hollow Knight. It's going to be a Reaper deck. And what am I going to do here? So I decide to go with the Spike Statue there where he placed his, so that because I know that combo can be pretty difficult to deal with. I'm going to put an Angel there to bolster that Spike Statue. And he pushes back, probably a good idea. But now we see that the Shaman is in the middle lane because he did the same thing I did. And so now I'm going to get my Angel combo going. He goes for the freeze. I go for the freeze. He gets the Inferno out. Here I think this is fine. Probably could have went for the Black Witch there. Doesn't make any sense for him to go for the Black Witch where he did. To take out a vampire that was going to die anyway. Okay. So, yep, save the Druid, and then eventually, at some point, you're definitely going to have to Inferno that. Might as well do it now, just to get rid of his Vampire. And so that top lane is going to get really messy, and I'm holding on to my Black Witch going, well, I don't know how that's going to work out up there. So, there we go. Let's just get rid of it, and I go ahead and Inferno that. And so here he comes with another Angel combo. I'm going to get out my own. Okay, and go with the Inferno just to make sure my dragon stays alive, because I want to keep this combination alive. And here I'm going to put the Spike Statue down in front of the Black Knight so that my Shaman can go to work on it, and maybe also pick up the Hollow Knight. Now my opponent has his Shaman in the top lane, so we're looking pretty good here. I mean, he's got a lot of powerful cards in his hand, but so he freezes. I freeze right back. I also use the wind to avoid the vampire. And unfortunately here I didn't have any more Infernos. But because I've been so quick with the Inferno before, he went ahead and burned an Inferno just to make sure he got everything, when actually he wasn't going to need to do that there. I think it makes sense to send the vampire down this middle lane. I've got a spike statue in front there. Unfortunately, he had a wind to push everything back. So this has been a good game. I am right now, just now, took the lead in health, but just barely, and it's not clear that I'm necessarily going to be able to hold that. I do grab the middle lane. I decide to go down for the Black Witch on the bottom lane where his dragon is. And now he gets ahead of me in health by playing in that top lane. I push back for the time being there. And yeah, I think I'm going to go for the dragon here in the top lane where he's got the shaman. And this is a killer right here. I get everything right there, and then I get to sack the middle lane, eliminating just everything that's in there. And that ended up being the killer move right there, which is often the case with this deck. Is that the move that decides it is when they go for that Black Witch on your Dragon Angel combo, and you've got the Inferno ready and can stop it. Now they push back. He gets out his own combo, but at this point I've done too much damage, and we're gonna get the win in overtime. Yeah. So when your opponent's playing Black Witch, you got to have the Infernos ready to go, because that's what saved the game there. So round 8, this is what I was expecting to see a lot of Reaper opponents, but as you saw, I only saw Grinspoon at the beginning, was pretty much it. And then this opponent here, Dark B, somebody I played before, but I just couldn't remember. I recognized the clan, so I knew he was going to be a decent player, but I did not know what deck they were playing. Ended up being a Reaper deck. Did okay here. We got the Spike Statue to stop some early damage. Yeah, I think it makes sense to play like this, just to slow everything down. And I'm going to freeze there and just try to start doing some work and force him to do something. And in this case, what he does is use a standard bearer, which is good, because using the standard bearers gives me an advantage, because now I know that's one standard bearer you've used. Here I was too slow. I should have played the angel much quicker. But he ended up playing Inferno anyway, killing everything. So anyhow, we got out of it. Got a little lucky there because with those cards being in the top lane. I go for the Inferno in the top lane because you just don't want a Storm Elemental getting too strong. And yeah, that's all fine. And again, the same thing. I'm gonna go for the Inferno. You just can't allow Reaper players to get something going. Yeah. So there we go, and that's pretty much gonna do it. Yep. There we go. So it looked easier than it was. So that was round 8. Round 9 against Alpi, who's another one of these playing one of these kind of mixed decks like I'm playing, except he's doing it with 2 freeze and 2 spike statue. And the Black Knight. So this is actually a tough matchup for my deck. Honestly, it's one of the harder ones to beat because my deck is probably a little better against Reaper decks. I think. I'm not sure. Definitely, I think my deck is stronger against overtime decks if you run into that, whereas his deck is a little better, I think, against a deck like mine because it features the Black Knight. So I just put the Spike Statue out there because I didn't want to burn a card. I figured I might as well play it somewhere. So this is pretty straightforward here. We're going to play the wind just in time. So now we're in pretty good shape. Thought about playing an Inferno here, and I think I ultimately did play an Inferno. Yeah, probably. I should have played it sooner. And then I should have been a little, I wasn't ready to play the Inferno on that Black Witch, but he ended up burning an Inferno on it anyway. So we're doing okay here. Spike Statue, a little bit annoying, but I have a solution for that, and that's the Angel. And so that's going to power up the Hollow Knight and keep keep it safe against those kind of spike statues. I put down my own spike statue in front. And another Hollow Knight that pairs okay with that, what is that, the Executioner there. So we're both freezing in the middle lane. Okay, the Inferno, bam, there we go. Just what we needed, and that's why we play that combination. Okay, so here we go. Now the Angel is just powering up everything here. There, he gets his Inferno out, which is, you know, good, slowing me down. But I'm going to set up another Dragon Angel combination here. And he's playing the Spike Statue back there, which, I mean, makes sense. Unfortunately for him, I'm going to get a Vampire, which is going to just tear through that. And everything else here is going to tear through it anyway. Now, he does have the Freeze, which he's going to play. I'm going to come back with my own that I just drew. And in the meantime, we have complete control in the other two lanes. And I push back here because he played a second freeze. And at this point, it's the same kind of situation like we talked about before. I know I'm way in the lead. I just need to hold on to things. And so I ended up getting a flawless victory against what I think is a very difficult deck to beat. It helped that we got off to a good start. So that was number 9. And in number 10, I played against, unfortunately, I feel badly for this opponent. Opponent with not a very high castle level, very many trophies. They only have 36 of the, I don't know, 50 or 60 cards that are out there. So it's not going to be a very good deck, just because they don't have, in large part because they don't have all of the cards. Now, that being said, I think I played pretty terribly. As you'll see, we really pile a bunch of things in the middle lane that didn't really... I didn't really need to do it that way, but anyway, always a little scared at the start because you never know. Could be a Reaper deck, and Reaper decks can beat anybody. So my opponent starts off pretty good here, going with the Dryad against my Jester. And I'm not sure what to make of what's happening here. There's just a big pile of stuff, and I put a Spike Statue out there, which really didn't make any sense. I should have put the Spike Statue way back at his castle, because that's where the Jester was going to knock him anyway. I played an Inferno, which again, I don't know if that made any sense, but I do think it was going to get me the Hollow Knight, so that was good. Can't really see what's going on in there, so I go ahead and throw down a Vampire, followed by a Freeze, so that I can start to grab all this stuff. Hopefully, at least that was the idea. And finally, I started to, okay, let's play in a different lane, since that just kind of makes sense to do. And, you know, again, everything's happening like a big mess up there. And my Vampire finally does die. And ultimately, he kind of gets control of that middle lane. But then here comes the combo with the Hollow Knight and the Angel. And now you'll see that that's, that's going to be it, because... without an Inferno, there's really nothing he can do. Yeah, the Jester can knock us back all day long, but eventually we're going to break through. And I've got a Shaman in the top lane, Shaman in the bottom lane. Here comes the Skull King. I was a little slow. I should have played that Inferno a little faster than that, but okay. The Dryad survived anyway. And yeah, that's just going to be it. There's just nothing he can do here. So that was round 10. Yeah, so we'll see how things go here. I think Romain won another tournament in the meantime. Did he win another tournament while we were watching here? Let's go see. Let's see. Okay, so he won that one. He won that one. Oh, he played the same opponent in round 8 and round 9, and then he won in round 10. Okay, so as a bonus for this video, let's watch Romain's round 10 with his mixed. This is the deck he plays in normal games, and I will try to commentate on what he's doing here. So this is his master tournament round 10. He'll throw the Jester down. Now he's going to be ready to play the Boneyard. Opponent doesn't really have anything he can do yet, so here comes the Boneyard. Yep, you'd expect the Hollow Knight to be in the middle lane, so there it goes. Opponent's going to wait, and then he's going to play the arrows to try to kill all the skeletons. There it is, and then, yeah, okay. So opponent used the wind, not 100% sure why. They decided to use the wind there. Yeah, the demon should go here. Oh, unfortunately, Romain's demon is going to kill the card he didn't want to kill. He wanted it to do damage to that Hollow Knight so he could grab it. But, yeah, that's okay. Okay, so, yep, good play there to put the Shaman behind, freeze everything, which is going to, yeah. And this is what's neat about the tournament, and a card that people underestimate, is the Shaman is actually super valuable in the tournament. It's more valuable than the Archer Queen, because the Inferno in the tournament, with tournament levels, the Inferno kills the Archer Queen, but does not kill the Shaman. Okay, so he decides to sack everything in that lane. That kind of makes sense, I guess. And he's got tons and tons of skeletons coming, and a mage just doing work on that bottom lane. Oh, and the demon didn't get what he wanted because there was a shaman image out there. Okay, so this is the thing. Romain's deck has a lot of punch early. It can win both early, it can also win late. Oh no. Oh. Okay, the opponent's gonna feel pretty happy about having two. Oh man, is he gonna save the dragon? So that's a dragon. That skeleton in the back is a dragon. And he did save it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. So Romain's deck does not include any Infernos, and I don't know why. Oh, well, I guess it didn't matter. It was going to lose anyway. So, okay. So Romain's deck can win early and can win late. It's a pretty cool deck. So, anyway, that's a little bonus video for this one. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.